Stream sang stream sang let's see. Shout out. He shouts, he outs, he shouts, he outs, he. Sigabana, ne?
Shamiso de
Sigabana. Yeah, Rakimang all you know. Fridays. It's Swisher Fridays. It's Swisher Fridays. Give man only with the tattoos, bro.
decides to defend Speedster by giving all the smoke to Swisher, and World Cup tickets for the final are on sale for May 15th. We will be there. And also Vson decides to quit music. Tando Zide Mandulo single Zinumalo and Jala Tug's new EP.
Vson quits. The hate must be. Who does bro refer himself? Why does bro refer himself?
Sun Al musician and Jala Tugzin are headliners for Red Bull Symphonic. Scorpion Kings will be live.
It's Swisher Fridays. What do we have? Hey man, that song is going crazy, bro. Who's that just spider? Hold up, what is this?
Behold the
Hold that shit, boy. Why the fuck would you hold that shit? Shout out to Chatty. Shout out you guys. It's your boy FII. It's your boy. Man, wrong way. It's your boy FIIEN 1496. Be sure to subscribe to the channel. If you are new to the channel, road to 2K subs. We're gonna do a 12-hour stream once we reach the goal. You know what time it is, bruh. Me, dog. Me, I have to eat, bruh. Me, I'm hungry, y'all. Be sure I get them subs out, shit. Be sure I get them subs out, shit. Shout outs, I love burger, bro. That's a large ass spider. What the
ounces, with an impressive leg span of up to 30 centimeters or 12 inches. It's second in leg span size only to the giant huntsman spider.
We reach our total subscription goal. We're gonna have a celebration and we're gonna have a 12-hour stream with Truth or Drink also involved. So be sure you sub up, guys, so that we reach it. My goal is to reach it before next week Friday. That way I can do the 12-hour stream on Friday, go on Saturday, or on Thursday, going on Friday. But Yeah, those
the
are the days I want to
Theraphosidae
put
family of
stream,
tarantulas,
man.
and are primarily
Let's
found
push
in
it
northern South
and knock it
America.
out the park.
Surprisingly, despite their ominous name,
Let's push it,
Goliath
knock it out
bird
the
eaters
park.
seldom prey on birds in their natural habitat. Their diet primarily consists of other substantial arthropods, amphibians, and
What?
worms. Due to their substantial size, they exhibit opportunistic predatory behavior, consuming almost anything they can catch.
Yo.
These spiders, with their limited eyesight, use sensitive, modified leg hairs to
Yeah,
detect
because I see, like,
vibrations.
there's very tiny
When
eyes,
threatened,
bro.
they can launch stinging harpoon.
I've noticed that this spider has extremely small eyes. Why is Superman video game is so hard to make? Why, Veli? Tell me why.
We've got tons of incredible superhero games at this point. There are true classics from Batman, Arkham Knight,
Yeah.
to Marvel Spider-Man,
Yeah.
to a good superhero game, and yet one remains. The most
Superman.
iconic superhero of all time, the original.
The
original what?
Superman has no
So
it's hard
what's
to make,
the holdup? What's the
Bro,
problem?
it's hard making a Superman game. This isn't Justice by the way. It's an actual Superman.
What's the hubbub, bub? Why's making a super? You have moments that almost crack you, even projects that basically
Shout out,
do
let's
it,
get them
and yet
subscription.
there's no good Man of Steel game. Hi folks, it's Falcon. Become a member of the 1% Club for the Unhinged. So hard to make. So I've seen a fair few number of people attempt to answer this question, and it
Don't you
seems
think it's because like Superman has like all these different like I think it's hard because of the power Superman possesses, bro, and like how to actually like fit that into a game. I think that's like very hard, you know what I'm saying? I think that's very hard, bro.
like it always lands on Superman is too powerful. And on paper, yeah, that's definitely true. The guy is essentially invincible. I mean, there's not a lot of kryptonite floating around Metropolis. There's more than you would think. He's stuff with his breath. He
I
can
think
wear
it's because of all the
underwear
powers
on
he
the
has, bro.
outside of his clothing, and no one busts his chops in world. And when you really think, dude, who is in no way embarrassed to be seen in his underwear and a cape at once. The people who have actually attempted to make a Superman game respond to this problem by basically nerfing Superman, which, you know, to some extent makes sense. You can't exactly make a beat 'em up with other characters and Superman being playable where Superman gets to have the amount of power
like,
Superman
Superman is
has.
super-
I mean, you could probably make that, but it feels like it's missing the point a bit. I mean, maybe the racing game where the cars go 20 miles per hour is missing the point of ability of failure. And Superman isn't. The problem is, at least one game solved that. So, in 2006, Electronic Arts published a Superman Returns game. And instead of giving Superman a health bar, it actually gives the city a health bar. And that's actually a really good idea because Superman stories actually have the
Yeah.
Well, the best Superman stories are not about him getting hurt. They're about him not being able to prevent somebody else or just everyone else from being hurt. Superman generally can't save everyone, and that's generally his cross to bear. He's an all-powerful dude amongst a bunch of relative weaklings that he relates to. Every person that he likes or loves could be killed by a thing that would be the equivalent of a paper cut to him. Now, I don't want to talk about Superman Returns for too long. It's pretty cool. Metropolis as a city in a video game at the time, 2006,
Shout out,
was
shout out.
also pretty cool. There was a lot of stuff that didn't work. It's Metacritic, I'm going to posit, that's actually not the problem with Superman games. Because although everybody seems to land on that, what is generally regarded as not a great game, in fact, the last, I think, AAA Superman game solved that problem in a manner that, again, on paper, confluence of things. The primary
Shout out,
thing
shout
I
out,
want to
shout
talk
out,
about
man.
is
Roots,
Warner
okay.
Brothers. The company Warner Brothers. And I mean, there's one very obvious problem there. It's that Warner Brothers doesn't really know what to do with their video game studios. They're often kind of floundering in that. But I want to go even a little bit further than that. I want to talk about Monolith Productions for a moment and their final project, the canceled Wonder Woman game. Now, there are people as kind of a victim of the major companies' decisions and problems. Kevin, Eric, and myself always talking about stuff like that on the Falcon Show. Check it out by becoming a 1% Club member. Anyway, so the original Wonder Woman movie was pretty well, right? So they put Monolith Soft on it. Apparently they were going to do Nemesis Engine stuff, which would have been really cool. But Wonder Woman was one of the few DC movies that did well in that way. They all made money, but the DCU was not the kind of consistent thing that the MCU was. Maybe to the point of fault. Marvel's problem actually is kind of that consistency at this point, but that's another topic. Rather than shoulders who wasn't really sure what to do. They assumed that because she directed the first film and people liked it, that she should write the second film and directed it. She does deserve plenty of the blame, but I think Warner Brothers made the wrong decision being like, well, Patty Jenkins directed the first one, so that means she should be in charge of absolutely everything on two. It's not just that old Falcon's cranky and thinks the sequels are bad. The movie literally tries to do everything and be everything. Like, its plot is centered literally around that. Around magic, around everything being possible, and, well, it's starting to sound like a familiar problem, isn't it? Both a problem for video games and a problem for the idea of a Superman video game. I bring this up because that movie is treated as a failure, and the way that Warner Brothers treats failures, it's kind of different.
Warner Brothers does not play many
Companies, you'd still be seeing Wonder Woman movies. Not so with Warner Brothers. Wonder Woman has ceased to exist following Wonder Woman 1984. It has ceased to exist to such an extent that the studio working on a Wonder Woman game also ceased to exist. Like, apparently that was their reason for existing in Warner Brothers' eyes, so they shut them down. I will remind you that usually things are a little more complicated than this, but I think the aspect of Wonder Woman I am talking about here, and of failure and success in Warner Brothers' eyes, is
like
one that people aren't going to
Superman,
dispute.
bro.
The Superman Returns video game wasn't just bad. It was another widely regarded as very bad with a 44% on Metacritic. That same
Shout out
year, there was a
Kim H.
Superman animated
poppin', you
series
guys?
game
Showboy
that came out on PS2 and GameCube called 64%. But I also think part of that is due to the fact that they had the entire voice cast of the show in the game, and I do think that counts for something.
Shout out,
And
y'all.
the
Let's
previous
get them subs up, man,
mainline
if y'all new to
Superman
the channel.
game to that came out in 1999 on the Nintendo 64 called Superman The New Adventures, which is widely regarded as one of the worst games ever made. Superman The New Adventures, or Superman 6, make it more or less not possible to beat without cheating. I'm not going to bring up the myriad of either the mainline ones or throwaway mobile titles in 2006. That's 20 years ago. They had taken such a beating with failure after failure after failure that I kind of think they were embarrassed by the prospect of another Superman game at all. And I kind of think they still are. If you bring up the prospect of a Superman game in the Warner Brothers offices, I have to imagine people start walking around like dogs with tails between their legs, like, I don't know what you do.
Bro, like, we just got
If
here,
it doesn't
bro.
turn a Superman game, and it was on the level of the quality of previous Superman games, that's exactly what would happen. I bet there would also be another round of videos where everybody says the reason you can't make a Superman game is because of what I said at the beginning that I don't think is the actual. Now, granted, they don't usually feature Superman. First off, there's Undefeated, which is free. Granted, it's kind of a tech demo for a developer that did it kind of as a project and it turned into a bigger thing. There's a game that will be coming out allegedly this year called Undefeated Genesis, which takes the... If you've never played Undefeated, I would highly recommend it. There's so many fun things to do in it, and it's just a little mess around open city environment where you have unlimited superpowers. And you do Superman. It's Superman. It's a Superman game. And it's also free, so if you think that a Superman game would be fun, download Undefeated now. It is. It's not the only one that's done it either. There's that mod for the Matrix Unreal demo that, to be frank, is also a great example of how you could do a super...
Hero. I wanna see game. I wanna see something. I doubt it's free talk. Everything they say is free talk. Oh, Injustice. Nah, I don't want no games in this is a video. Where's the actual game? You guys know for sure come on, bro. Wasted my time, bro. Could have just 2G and just kept on.
Superman game, they don't have Superman in that. It's generic, fake Superman, but it's for all intents and purposes Superman. It's fun as hell. There's a GTA 5 mod for Superman that is also quite fun. I don't know that I put it on exactly the level of Undefeated or the Unreal demo. There's also the first-person Megaton Rainfall, which is for all intents and purposes in VR. The idea is there's an alien invasion. You have to protect the planet with as little collateral damage as possible. Granted, problem with Superman. Superman is the ultimate nice guy. And I don't mean that as in the annoying type of nice guy. I mean like he's actually a nice fellow. Weird because you're Superman. I don't know if that's enough to actually put the brakes on making one of these games. But it certainly is a problem. And I think Megaton play is actually pretty good too. There are a load of people who talk about the Superman gameplay in Lego Batman 2 as playing John Williams' Superman theme, and that just makes it feel epic as hell. And again, it's not a Superman game, so it's not a fully... It was published by Warner Brothers Interactive. It was developed by Traveler's Tales, but I mean, they even almost borderline sneak Superman in. Like, casually glancing past it, you're probably not going to notice
this game was
Superman.
dope.
And I think that's kind of how they feel about Superman video games. They don't want you to. Most reviews will contain a reference to Superman 64 somewhere in them. Like the idea that Superman...
Now it's just rambling, dog. And we ain't got time for none of that. This game is very boring. To still a brain... Oh, what's this? Mafia 3. This is Mafia 3. What do we have? Hey man, the fastest attack, moments of the sky. Hey man, kid is gone.
The sky stretches wide, boundless and unforgiving. There is nowhere to hide, and no room for weakness.
What happened?
Tests of dominance. Falcons fall like missiles, turning the chase into a single fatal moment.
One.
And vultures descend, not to kill, but to claim what others could not hold. This instinct and one in the air.
Shout out CJ Edit.
Welcome to the Lords of the Sky, where every flight is a battle.
I'm gonna shout out JC Edit. How the
Feet and eyes capable of spotting movement from 2 miles away. Eagles have evolved.
Let's get them subs to the channel. How is that? Squirrel.
A fox moves quietly, confident in its own silence, unaware of eyes sharper than the wind track its every motion. The fox senses nothing until the final moment.
Bro, I didn't know an eagle had it in it.
Yet sometimes the fox does feel something, a subtle shift, too quiet to name, yet too distinct to ignore. Above, patience holds steady, eyes locked and unblinking, waiting for a single misstep. Here, survival is decided, not by strength.
Shout out, I make games. Yeah, bro, I'm from Sauta. Oh, shout out.
In the jagged crags of Central Asia and Europe, golden eagles hunt mountain goats.
Shout out,
Prey
man. Yeah, I'm
5
from
times
SA,
their weight.
Where are you from?
The strategy is brutal and brilliant.
Shout out, y'all. Let's get them subs up, man. Once we reach the 2K mark, y'all, we're finna do a celebration. Plus, we're finna do a 24-hour stream, guys. So let's get them subs up. Let's also... Is that a goat? It's gonna let it fall. It's gonna let it fall. It's gonna drop it. It's gonna drop it. He's gonna drop it. Look at him just looking there. Bro, an eagle is evil, dog. An eagle, dog.
An eagle approaches low, wings steady, talons out.
Bro. You sound like someone I met on Discord, honestly.
It strikes not to kill, but to unbalance. The goat
I don't even
stumbles
understand what
and
this Discord is
falls.
for. Yo, I told you, bro. Look at this.
It strikes not to kill, but to unbalance. The goat
Then it lets you
stumbles
go.
and falls.
Yo. But I imagine falling from there
From
so
cliffs
high.
thousands of feet tall, gravity
Shit, bro,
becomes the
shit.
deadliest predator.
This thing is not seated properly, y'all. Hold
The
up.
eagle waits.
Hold up, y'all. Hold up. This shit is not seated properly, man. Hold up. I'm too lazy to put the phone on the ring light. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. But at this point, I think I should. Hold up. Hold up. Give me a second, y'all. Fuck it. It's good enough. Fuck it. It's good enough, man. It's good enough, y'all. I mean, it looks terrible, man. Let me fix it, dog. Let me stop being lazy and actually fix this shit. I mean, that's good enough. That's good enough, man. Let's get them subs up. I fear too.
Watches. High above the open ranges, far from cliff or canopy, a different kind of hunt begins. There are no shadows to hide in, no branches to weave between. Only wind and instinct.
Yo, look at the size of an eagle, boy. Look at the size of an eagle, boy. One. Yo.
It is a kill made not in darkness, but in the heart of the day. And when it's done, their
Cold-blooded, boy.
dominance is not inherited. It's earned and kept.
What is that? A falcon?
When two eagles meet in open sky, the calm unravels. These battles are not displays, they are decisive. The crown.
Shout out, chat. Be sure I get them subs up. Be sure I get them subs up.
Not all predators rely on brute strength and the silence between movements. The hawk is one of them. They do not chase without cause, nor strike without calculation. Each movement is measured. A hawk watches more than it flies, and waits longer than it needs to. Its advantage lies in vision, not just clarity, but focus, able to detect the slightest flicker of motion from hundreds of feet away. A hawk doesn't just see, it predicts. And when the moment comes, there is no warning. Their wings are built for control, not display. Angles and sharp drops between obstacles. A hawk can slip through thickets, twist through.
Yo. And hawk is fairly Yo.
Urban gardens become ambush zones. Even in places talents, it is what comes before them.
Yo. And I thought the eagle is cold, yeah.
Yet the eagle's reign is never absolute. The skies are vast, and challengers wait beyond each horizon. Predators built not from sheer power, but from blistering speed and deadly precision.
What is that?
Is the fastest animal ever to have lived. In its legendary hunting dive, it folds back its wings and plunges at speeds
Bruh, I haven't optimized this. Fuck, man. And there's nothing I can do at this point. I can see, bro. I can also see on the phone, bro. I don't know if that's like the Nah, it's not the Wi-Fi. I think it's Streamlab, bro. I don't know what's happening with Streamlab. Subs up. Yo, bro. I can see the lag. I can see the lag. Ah, fuck, bro. I think it's Streamlab, bro. Ish. Now I can't really hop on OBS, bro. Ish. I didn't even add on Test Manager. Hold up. Fuck. From tomorrow I might just hop on OBS, bro. From tomorrow I might just hop on OBS. Yeah, bro, the lag is crazy, dog.
pigeons drift unaware.
Shout out, chat. Be sure to get them subs up.
A blur, a shockwave. The aftermath comes before the ground realizes something has even happened.
But I turned on Text Manager right now.
Not every hunt begins with a dive.
Though.
Some unfold
Nope,
in the
not better.
open, swift, winding, unforgiving.
I'm chilling, bro. I'm chilling, bro. How's you going, bro? I'm chilling, bro.
It slices through the air with an agility few can match,
Nah, the lag is crazy.
adjusting mid-flight with astonishing precision. And glass. Cities offer new heights, new angles, and prey in endless motion.
Wait, let me see. Yeah, bro, the lag is crazy, bro. I'm not gonna lie, the lag is crazy. And it's not full, bro. And I don't think it's the Wi-Fi as well, bro. Shout out V at the recycling bin, man. Shout out V, bro. The lag is crazy, man. I will admit, bro. Shout out V Lightam. Oh, bro, look at the amount of shit that's here, bro. Hold up. The fuck are these? Oh, these are videos. Oh, these are songs. Hold up. Let me see if I delete the things here, bro. What's gonna happen with the lag, bro? I wanna see what's gonna happen with the lag, bro. Shout out, y'all. Be sure I get them subs up, man. I think he got a girlfriend now, dog. Akasatholakala uvile ivela my akasatholakala. Can't tholakala. Okay, guys, I emptied the recycling bin. I don't know if the lag is gonna be okay. I think the issue here is with Streamlab.
Their eyes,
And I was telling a
engineered for
24-hour stream,
long-distance
gang.
focus,
When do you want a
scan
24-hour
patterns in a
stream? Should
world
it be
designed
on
by
Friday
humans,
or Saturday,
not
y'all?
nature. But the hunt is no less exact.
On
There is no wind-up, no warning,
Friday
only a shift in pressure,
like
a single
00.
blur between reflection views, unaware of what just passed overhead. Speed alone doesn't define the
when
falcon.
should I tell
It's what the
this, bruh?
speed conceals that truly matters. Every strike is calculated, not chaotic. Every pursuit refined through millennia of airborne evolution. Their legacy is not written in territory or dominance, but in motion, quiet, flawless.
What?
And in the great contest of the skies, falcons do not roar. They arrive, unseen, unchallenged, and gone before the air can close behind.
Shout out, check.
Vultures ride the wind with barely a movement, eyes locked, not on motion, but on stillness. Death, conflict follows. The kill may
Shout
be
out to
over,
Boba
but the
Animations,
struggle
bro.
has just begun.
Shout out.
Beaks clash, wings lash. Dominance is declared not in roars, only a moment claimed, then abandoned.
That's crazy. I'm not
The
gonna
death-
lie. That's crazy. Hold up. Yo, I got you, I get out. Shout out you guys, be sure to get them subs up, man. Once we hit the 2K goal, what you wanna call this?
In the natural world, survival is rarely decided by strength alone.
A celebration,
Every movement
man.
is to hidden burrows. Snakes move with precision. Yet even the most
Dropping you guys
efficient
the
hunters
show boy
can face unexpected resistance.
1496. Be sure y'all
In nature, the smallest decision can change everything.
Oh, maybe the lag comes from the fact that
Is suddenly attacked by a lizard while moving.
connected via like this shit, bruh. Via Bluetooth, bruh.
The lizard bites down and shakes forcefully, destabilizing the snake immediately.
Stay on 10 toes. Chains on my neck every day like Chang Lo.
Roll.
I am sub to you. Shout out, bro. Man, apologies for the crazy lag, man. Let me disconnect.
Advantage in close combat.
Welcome to the family, to all the new subs. Won't be able to see.
As the
You
snake
guys must
weakens,
tell
the
me
lizard
if,
holds
like, the
onto
leg
it and
persists,
moves
'cause now
across
I
the
can't
river
see
to
if the leg
reduce
is
risk.
persisting or not.
The hunt ends quickly in silence. Using the environment.
What the fuck?
Into the environment.
That's an ugly ass lizard, yo.
It stays still, waiting and observing. Texas horned lizards can shoot blood from their eyes up to about 3-5 feet to deter predators, a rare defense mechanism.
Yo, bruh, I can't believe I jumped, bro. Oh man. Fuck, bro.
Oriented predators.
That's one ugly ass lizard, y'all.
When the Texas horned lizard leaves its burrow after laying eggs, it immediately faces a snake tracking its scent.
It goes back.
It does not flee, but moves forward to bite and drive the predator.
So it's only when I bite. It's not gonna do anything like any real damage.
When a second cult for predators to approach, especially in direct encounters.
Bro's buffing up his mouth. You can't touch me, bro. What you talking about? What is that? What is that?
Snakes use forked tongues to detect airborne scent trails from a distance, making fresh eggs vulnerable.
What is it doing?
When the lizard suddenly flips over, the unusual behavior causes hesitation, and the snake withdraws. Unexpected
What the fuck? Bro just flipped over like, nah,
responses
man, I
can
don't want
disrupt
no
an
smoke,
attack.
bro. I don't want no smoke, bro. I don't want no smoke.
What
bro.
happens when two venomous snakes suddenly meet on the same narrow? The waterfall snake does not retreat, but lunges forward, creating a violent clash from the very first moment.
Which is
The
more
waterfall snake is a powerful predator with developed muscles, capable of constricting.
working though. I don't think the poison is working on.
The two bodies twist.
Who's gonna win though? Who's gonna win? This is bad, bro.
Over time, its movement slows and control fades. The position is fully secured. The waterfall snake shifts toward the head to finish the hunt. In nature, mechanical strength can sometimes overcome venom.
He's really gonna die though. Like later, no, it's not. Shit. They just ate, bro, dog. Let me go get a cup of tea.
A brown snake from the beginning, preventing any escape. The red-bellied black snake maintains steady pressure without excessive force. This species has a larger body and thicker skin that reduces the impact of bites, while the brown snake relies heavily on speed and venom for attack. Over time, resistance once the prey stops moving, create distance to escape, but the king cobra follows closely, every movement calculated.
Hey, what's happening?
The king cobra is a specialized snake hunter with potent venom and strong endurance, while the rat snake depends on speed and agility to survive. A second strike quickly secures the prey's body. Resistance gradually weakens over time. The king cobra moves its jaws along the body toward the head. The hunt ends when the prey is fully controlled. In nature, speed is only... The red-bellied black snake maintains...
Yeah, bro got eaten alive, man.
Preventing any escape. Snake responds with repeated bites, but cannot deliver effective impact. Impact of bites, while the brown snake relies heavily on speed and venom for attack.
Yeah, no. What is it?
Over time, resistance weakens. Control shifts entirely to one side. Once the prey stops moving, the process of consumption begins. In nature,
Why am I watching snake
in an open
videos,
field, the chase begins when
Okay,
a
but
king
that
cobra
snake was
detects its
disgusting.
prey.
That was a
The rat
ugly
snake
ass.
rushes forward at high speed, trying to create distance to escape. But the king cobra follows closely, every movement. A first strike is delivered to establish initial advantage. The king cobra is a specialized snake hunter with potent venom and strong endurance, while the rat snake depends on speed and agility to survive.
Alright, it's chai for you, boy. It's chai, boy.
Cures the prey's body. Resistance gradually weakens over time.
Yeah, it's chai, boy. So let me try to connect with this first, boy.
The king cobra moves its jaws
Wanda,
along
bro,
the
this
body
two
toward the
devices
head.
connected. This one's also
With
connected.
just a single quick strike, can a predator end the encounter instantly? Before
I
it
don't
can
see her
react,
complaining about
the
the
prey
lag.
struggles violently, trying to break free but unable to create the necessary distance. Without waiting, the king snake begins swallowing as soon as head control is secured. Movements gradually become disorganized and weaker. The prey's body is steadily drawn in section by section. In nature, controlling the right weak point can shorten an entire hunt.
It's terrible now, since I got these two phones connected.
You don't have to pay upfront just to get your music on streaming platforms. With Rude Note, distribution is 100% free from your first release to your 50th. We're eating into their budget. That frees you up to spend your money where it really matters.
Bro, like, there's no way that shit is free. There's a catch, boy. Like, there's a catch, bro. there's a catch, boy. There's a catch. It can't just be free, dog. Man, I'd rather pay for the service, dog. I'd rather pay for the service, to be honest, man. I'd rather pay for the service, man. That's just me.
On open grassland, a serval quietly approaches after spotting a snake moving across the ground.
Yo.
Each time the snake strikes, the serval leaps high and pulls back, maintaining a safe distance and waiting for the right moment.
Nah, it's not gonna bite the serval, dog. Nah. I can already tell this cat has faster reflexes. But the snake is getting tired, though. I told you. Shout out, chat. Be sure to get themselves up. I know more about these animals, y'all. Shout out, gang. Be sure to get themselves up, bro. So the thing about like when cats hunt snakes, né? The problem with the snake is the snake has a certain amount of strikes before it starts to get tired, and once it gets tired, it's shy. Then it's gonna get back to back.
Servals can leap up to about 6.
I know. Like the snake is not gonna win. It's like it already knows its child. It already knows its child. Like you're not gonna win, bro. And this is a huge ass snake, bro.
The snake gradually coils, but when the serval tests again, it reacts suddenly, leading the serval to withdraw. Not every hunt needs to reach an end to ensure safety.
Oh, it just leaves. Oh, it's very large. A mongoose.
In a garden, a Huron faces a cascabel in a tense
Oh,
standoff.
I don't know that anymore. Cascabel. Well, you learn every day. Cascabel.
When the snake attempts to withdraw, the Huron immediately pursues and bites the tail to maintain close pressure. The Huron has very fast reflexes and a certain level lose control.
R.I.P. the snake, gang. R.I.P. the snake. Bro, the cascabel is cold. What the fuck is that? Though sounds like a freaking anaconda.
In a quiet garden,
This thing
but as the
can't see
distance
much.
closes, the shrew turns and attacks directly with rapid bites.
This shit can't see though. Oh, it has tiny eyes. Fuck.
Shrews move quickly, and some species possess mild venom in their saliva, increasing effectiveness during sustained attacks. Expected direction. Size does not always determine the outcome.
Poor snake, bro.
You.
Shout out chat
Just
before
you.
I get themselves
Building
up, bro.
your
I
app.
did not expect that nigga. Bro can see everything. A centipede visits a snake.
Beneath damp leaf litter, a centipede leaves its shelter and encounters a small snake hunting nearby.
Small snake. Ah, Jesus.
The snake strikes first, but the centipede immediately wraps around the opponent with dozens of legs.
What, does it bite it or what?
Not enough to sustain against a larger opponent.
Okay. Interesting. Oh, the snake won. Finally, a snake
As the
won.
centipede loses its hold, the snake begins consuming it gradually.
Yeah.
On a low branch, a black mamba remains motionless after a previous encounter, its tail still caught. A mongoose repeatedly leaps, biting the head and shaking to pull the prey down. Maintaining pressure until the tail slips free. Mongooses have extremely fast neural reflexes and partial resistance to snake venom, allowing safe, close-range engagement. Bites targeting the head When the snake falls to the ground, the mongoose maintains control and completes the process. Precision through repetition.
What is that? Honey? No, it's not. What
At dawn, as prairie dogs emerge, a rattlesnake silently approaches from the grass edge. Alarm calls sound, the young retreat, and adults move forward. The rattlesnake strikes quickly but repeatedly misses, while the group pressure forces it out of position.
Is it fast though?
A rattlesnake can strike at speeds of about 6 to 10 feet per second, but requires space to be effective. Prairie dogs use coordinated warning calls and group behavior to detect and drive away threats, reducing risk.
A dog, though.
When the snake retreats into a
That's crazy, bro. Nah, the leg is still here.
On still branches, a chameleon moves slowly, almost invisible. Its eyes rotate independently, scanning in multiple directions. Hears, its tongue extends instantly, completing the hunt without movement. A chameleon's tongue can extend up to 1.5 and 2 times its body length in about 0.07 seconds, enabling distance hunting.
Go.
Color change reflects not only camouflage, but also internal state and environment, allowing rapid adaptation.
Same time. Same time. Shit. Can it take the venom bites?
The first strike startles it, but it escapes with short, controlled movement. The snake continues, but each attempt is disrupted by unpredictable motion. Slow, controlled movement helps avoid triggering predator strike responses, especially against motion-sensitive hunters like snakes. As the snake withdraws, the chameleon continues.
Shout out, Chet.
Sometimes controlling rhythm matters more than speed. System designed for rapid counterattack. A king snake coils tightly around a copperhead, establishing control from the start. The king snake remains calm, gradually tightening and maintaining position, preventing any effective attack angle.
That copperhead keeps striking.
King snakes have partial resistance to venom from other snakes and use constriction to weaken prey, while copperheads rely on
Like, would they shit partial? How partial are they talking?
The copperhead's evasive efforts only delay the outcome without changing it. As its strength fades, a quick adjustment allows the king snake to secure the head. Control becomes complete as resistance fades away. In nature, the right strategy can neutralize even dangerous defenses. Curls its body and turns away to shield its head, the most critical weak point. The Cape Cobra moves in circles, searching for a favorable angle before delivering a quick strike. The puff adder immediately evades, causing the strike to miss. Puff adders rely on passive defense with thick skin and fast evasive reflexes. While after a few seconds of assessment, the cobra recognizes the risk is not worth continuing. It slowly withdraws, leaving the encounter unresolved. The puff adder maintains its defensive posture without pursuit. In nature, avoiding conflict is also a form of victory.
This snake just ate.
What happens when a fight spirals out of control? Two cobras lunge at each other, and rapid strikes cause them to become locked together. And cannot release. Both bodies twist and roll across the sand like a chaotic mass of motion. Cobras have flexible jaw structure. They attempt to separate by coiling and generating torque. However, the locked point remains firm.
Who's going to win, though? Endurance is going to win this one.
Movement gradually slows as strength declines. Is bright coloration a warning or simply a deceptive signal in a small cave? A coral snake moves closer to a rat snake already in a defensive posture. The rat snake raises its body, attempting to intimidate and maintain distance.
This nigga's still coming.
Toxic venom, while their red, yellow, black banding serves as a posmatic warning coloration to reduce direct conflict.
The rat snake had no... Like, it's shy for you, boy, it's shy.
Once restrained, the prey cannot maintain its defensive posture for long. The advantage gradually shifts to the predator.
It's shy, boy. I know, like...
And the encounter ends in silence. In nature, color itself can be a survival strategy.
Shout out you guys, be sure to get themselves up, bro. Yeah, the elapidated snakes though got like
on the red soil of Australia. There, what happens when two top predators meet in a confined space?
Who and who? Yeah, rattlesnake.
The darkness makes every movement unpredictable. A rapid attack confined space. Mulga snakes can deliver large quantities of venom with high endurance, while inland taipans possess extremely potent neurotoxic venom and fast strike reflexes.
Believe it or not, I will draw the person you will marry. One of my clients asked for a refund. She thought the man I sketched...
Escape. The encounter ends quickly as the inland taipan is gradually consumed. In nature, terrain can completely shift the balance of power. Every encounter ends in conflict. An indigo snake quietly moves toward a rat snake basking after shedding its skin.
Fight that nigga, bro.
The prey senses danger and immediately raises its body, opening its mouth in warning. But the predator does not rush. Indigo snakes are long and powerful, capable of preying on other snakes, including venomous ones, while rat snakes often experience temporary reduced vision after shedding due to a cloudy new skin layer.
Oh shit, you can't
Maintain distance and observe each other in silence. When the rat snake lunges in defense, the indigo chooses to retreat rather than take unnecessary risk. In nature, correctly assessing risk can be more important than winning. Individual detects an opossum climbing into a narrow crevice of a rotting tree trunk and silently moves closer.
Well, opossum looks terrible. It looks like an animal that has just been going
Pythons
through
are
its life.
non-venomous. They rely on bodies. The approach is swift and efficient, and the opossum is quickly subdued within powerful coils.
Like, bro had no chance, bro.
A python's jaws can expand thanks to elastic ligaments.
What's this, bruh?
Documentary about the Korowai people of Papua, Indonesia.
Bro,
You have seen
the
a
highlight
house
man's titties.
perched on a single tree, 45 meters above the jungle. No safety net, just wood, rope, and an extraordinary understanding of the forest. And your first question was probably the same as everyone else's. Why? The historical answer is protection.
Yeah, the gun
The
is not
Korowai
safe.
built high to stay out of reach of rival clans, and to guard against the Kakua, which in their belief system are evil witches who take human form and cause sudden, unexplained deaths. Living 45 meters up means living without the constant assault of bites, without the fever, without the slow death that malaria brings. Height is medicine.
Yeah, that's crazy.
The real Korowai story is not about height. It is about the food. The leaves become their roofing. The bark becomes their flooring. And when a sago palm dies and begins to rot, it becomes a nursery for the sago grub. A fat, white beetle larva that the Korowai consider one of the finest things you can eat.
Sis. But then like this shit is no different from petty people eating what you call this? What you call these worms again? What you call these worms they eat, man? Y'all this course, man. What's eat worms, bro.
Rich in protein, with a creamy texture that melts when cooked over fire. Their architecture, their diet, food. It is the foundation of their entire civilization. However, many of the impossibly high tree houses you see on television today were not built for the Korowai to live in. They were built for the cameras. Foreign film crew community today lives in government-encouraged villages on the ground. If you were visiting the Korowai, would you sleep in the treehouse or stay on the ground? Comment number 1 for treehouse, number 2 for ground.
I live on a treehouse.
As usual, the content in this video has been compiled and referenced from various sources. If there is any inaccurate or missing information, please leave a comment below to share your feedback with us. Thank you very much. Now, I want to take you somewhere that scientists have described as aliens. The Danakil Depression in northeastern Ethiopia sits roughly 125 meters below sea level. It is one of the lowest, hottest, and most geologically active places on the planet. The ground bubbles with acid pools of neon yellow and green. there are active lava lakes. The air smells of
Shout out,
sulfur.
Be sure I get them subs up, man.
NASA has studied this place as a reference point for what life might look like on other planets. It leaves behind something extraordinarily valuable: pure, flat slabs of salt. Every day, Afar men lead their camel caravans, called the Azalai, across the scorching flats to mine these salt blocks by hand. They cut them into uniform rectangles called amole, load them onto camels, and transport them up the escarpment to the highland markets. Until the 20th, the Afar were not just surviving in one of the most hostile environments on Earth. They were minting money. And then there is the code of hospitality. The Afar people follow a strict social law called FEMA. If you are a guest in their territory, in a place where water is the most precious resource imaginable, where every drop is survival, they will give you theirs before they take it themselves.
Damn.
If you have or the lava, let us know in the comments. We read every single one.
Cap.
At 5,100 meters above, the air contains roughly half the oxygen available at sea level. Altitude sickness is not a risk here. It is a daily condition. Headaches, nausea, and difficulty breathing are simply part of waking up. But people do not come to La Rinconada for the view. They come for gold. Frozen Mountain lies one of the most significant gold deposits in South America, and the system by which the miners extract it is one of the most brutal economic arrangements still practiced anywhere in the world today. A single cent of payment. 30 days of breathing toxic air, working in freezing darkness, risking cave-ins and mercury poisoning, for free. On the 31st day, he is allowed to carry out as much raw ore as he can physically lift onto his. He will not know until he processes it.
That's crazy.
Every month is a gamble, and the house always has the advantage. The women of La Rinconada face a different kind of exclusion. They are forbidden from entering the mine shafts entirely. A deep-rooted superstition holds that a woman's presence underground will cause the gold to disappear or bring catastrophe to the men inside. So instead, the palaqueras, the women sorters, work on the frozen slopes outside the mine entrance, sifting through the discarded tailings, the waste rock already processed and thrown away, searching for overlooked specks of gold with their bare to something older. The miners pray to El Tío, the lord of the underworld. They leave him offerings of coca leaves, cigarettes, and pure alcohol at small shrines inside the tunnels. They ask him to reveal the gold. Tío lives in the dark with the men who need him most. The name Oymyakon translates roughly to unfrozen water, a reference to a thermal spring nearby that stays liquid even in the depths of winter. Minus 90.
This is my money we're talking about. Is he's not firing shots though. Oh, it's this song. Oh, holy shit, it's this song. Okay. Trust my Meezy, nah, trust, gang. After dropping this track, you come with this. Nah, trust, boy. Nah, trust, boy. Guys, my eyes twitching. I don't know what's happening. My eyes is not okay, bruh. Alright, Smamizi, I feel you, Smamizi. Shout out Cross forever.
Fahrenheit. That is colder than the surface of Mars on an average day.
Shout out, Brody. Let me hop on the tube real quick.
At that temperature, the moisture in your breath freezes before it leaves your mouth. Metal becomes brittle. Rubber shatters. And if you turn off your car engine, you may never start it again. In July, Oymyakon can reach over 86 degrees Fahrenheit.
Shout out
the
Trevor,
same
shout out
village
Sub
that
Up, man.
experienced 180 degrees Fahrenheit.
I think the problem is I didn't
No
get
other
a proper
permanently
amount of
inhabited
sleep
place on
yesterday.
Earth experiences a climate range like that. The people of Oymyakon do not just survive one extreme, they survive two completely opposite extremes, back to back. Makes agriculture nearly impossible. The Yakut people of this region built their food culture around what the cold preserves, rather than what the earth grows. Their most beloved dish
Shout out,
is
so let's get them
stroganina,
subs up, bro.
long, thin ribbons
about
of
to reach
raw,
our
frozen
goal, guys.
river
Let's
fish,
just keep pushing
typically
this shit.
whitefish or omul,
We might just reach
shaved
2K
directly from the
but
frozen
we're gonna reach
block
it before the end
and
of
dipped
next
in
week,
salt
bro.
and pepper.
I
It dissolves
trust,
on the
bro.
tongue like ice cream. The cold did not defeat them. They turned it into a cuisine. In the South Australian outback, there is a town where the summer sun is so brutal, so relentless, that the residents made a collective decision at some point in the town's history. They would simply stop living above it. Coober Pedy is the opal mining capital of the world, producing more than 80% of the global supply. Not in caves, but in dugouts, hand-carved homes built directly into the sandstone hillsides. And before you picture something cramped and dark, let me correct that image immediately. The sandstone of Coober Pedy is a natural insulator of remarkable efficiency. While the surface bakes at 122 degrees Fahrenheit, the temperature inside a dugout home stays at a consistent 73 climate control system.
This place looks beautiful.
Some of
as
these
well.
underground homes are extraordinary. High arched sandstone ceilings, open plan living areas, underground swimming pools, wine cellars that require no refrigeration because the ground keeps them at the perfect temperature. More space, they do not call a contractor. They rent a tunneling machine and carve a new room directly into the wall. And here is the detail that makes Coober Pedy unlike anywhere else on Earth. Sometimes, while digging that new bedroom, they find opal in the wall. The fairways are packed with desert dirt, and every golfer carries a small square of artificial turf in their bag to place under the ball when they tee off. They play at night, under floodlights, to avoid the heat. Coober Pedy did not adapt to the desert. It went underneath it. Let me ask you something before we move on. What would you consider the biggest problem for a community that receives the highest rainfall on Earth? Flooding, perhaps?
Yeah.
Waterlogged fields, constant dampness that rots wood and breeds disease. You would not guess water shortages.
For real.
And yet, that is exactly the paradox that defines life in Mazenram. Mazenram receives an average of nearly 12 meters of rain every single year. To put that in perspective, London receives roughly 0.6 meters annually. Mazenram receives 20 times that amount. During the monsoon season, the rain does not
Get sick easily, bro. So if I had to live at like the wettest place here, bro, I would just get broke. Like that's how I got sick, dog. Like how do you guys think I got sick? Like Joe been cool. It was the fucking rain, bro. Like the fucking rain does not fuck with me, and I don't fuck with the rain. I don't fuck with the rain, and I don't fuck with cold temperatures, bro. Like,
it would be torn inside out and destroyed before you cross the street.
yo,
So the Kasi people of Mazenram invented something better.
what's that?
They weave the knup, a large turtle shell-shaped rain shield made from bamboo and dried broom grass. It is worn over the head and draped across the back and shoulders, covering the entire upper body like a portable roof. The design is aerodynamic, allowing wind to pass around it rather than catch it. And because it sits on the farmer can plant rice in a torrential downpour. A woman can carry goods to market. A child can walk to school. All of them completely covered, both hands working. It is one of the most elegant pieces of functional design produced by any culture anywhere in the world. It suffers from severe water shortages every dry season. By December, the taps run dry. The rivers shrink. The community struggles to find clean drinking water.
Why don't y'all store
The reason
water?
is the terrain itself. The hills of Meghalaya are steep, rocky, and lopes at tremendous speed and drains directly into the plains of Bangladesh far below. The water is there for 4 months, and then it is gone, and the land holds almost none of it. The wettest place on Earth is thirsty for half the year. And then there are the living root bridges. The Kasi and Jangtia people of this region discovered centuries ago that the roots of the Indian rubber tree, if guided carefully over many years, will grow across a river and fuse together into a natural bridge, strong enough to hold dozens of people at once. Some of these bridges are over 500 years old. Some span more than 30 meters. They do not rot in the rain. They do not rust. They do not weaken with age. They get stronger every year as the roots continue to grow and intertwine.
So let's reach the goal first of all before we start celebrating.
Rising from the plain of Thessaly in central Greece are enormous columns of sandstone, some of them over 400 meters tall. It is shaped by millions of years of erosion into forms that look less like natural rock and more like the fingers of something buried beneath the earth, reaching upward. And balanced on top of these columns, libraries, kitchens, and gardens, perched on surfaces so narrow and so high that the clouds sometimes pass below them. The tourist buses visit the 6 large monasteries that are still active today. They are magnificent, but they are not the full story. If you look carefully at the sheer rock faces below the main monasteries, you will see something that most visitors miss entirely.
What's that?
Small wooden balconies. Ladders jammed into cracks in the stone. Natural caves halfway up the cliff face. Bare-limit caves, used by ascetic monks who found even the monasteries at the top too crowded, too comfortable, too connected to the world below. These monks would retreat to the Bandovas for weeks or months at a time, fasting, praying, and existing in a silence broken.
Of our stream without reaching the goal or celebrating before we actually done the work. So let's first of all do the work, then we'll celebrate afterwards.
Until the 1920s, there were no steps carved into the rock, no paths, no roads. The only way to reach the monasteries was to be placed inside a large round. Supplies, food, building materials, and people all went up the same way. Visitors who made this journey reportedly asked the monks the same question every time. How often do you replace the ropes? The answer was always the same.
They never do.
Only when the Lord lets them break.
Ha!
But Meteor...
What the fuck? Bro, imagine they say like, so they basically say they never replace the rope until the ropes actually break. So once they actually see you falling from 12,000 feet, then they start replacing the ropes. It's already chai by then, bruh.
Is not...
A man who constantly chases sexual stimulation is avoiding his real life. He wants success, but every time things start going right, he finds a way to mess it up. He overthinks, overplans, and underacts. He calls it burnout, but it's really avoidance. He's tired, but can't rest. Resting feels like losing.
During the centuries of Ottoman rule over Greece, the Greek language, the Orthodox Christian faith, and Greek...
I don't know about you guys, but me guys, I don't like resting, and I won't lie, bro. For the past couple of days, as the Wi-Fi was not here, I was actually forced to rest, dog. Like, I was forced, but I didn't even rest, dog. Like, when the Wi-Fi was not here, bro, I actually edited 2 music videos same time, bro. Like, I edited the music, man. Work is work, man.
Greek cultural identity were systematically suppressed in the valleys and towns below. The monasteries of Meteora, unreachable and uncontrollable, became something extraordinary. They became secret schools. Hidden inside the monastery walls, Greek children were taught to read and write in their own language, to learn their own history, to practice their own faith. The inaccessibility that made Meteora seem like an act of madness was, in fact, the very thing that kept an entire civilization alive.
She's using my phone to connect, like
Ethiopia appears on this list twice, and it deserves to. Most people who know Lalibela directly downward into the living rock of the Ethiopian plateau. Some of them over 800 years old, still standing, still structurally sound, still in active use every single day. But what the photographs cannot show you is what it feels like to move between them. The 11 churches of Lalibela are connected by a network of subterranean trenches and tunnels carved into the rock. Some of these passages are wide enough for 2 people to walk side by side. Others narrow to the width of a single body. And the most famous of them, the tunnel connecting Biete Gabriel Rufel to Biete Mercurios, is in complete and total darkness. No light enters. You feel the stone walls with your hands. You cannot see the person in front of you or behind you. You move forward entirely by touch and faith. This tunnel represents the passage through hell. When you emerge into the light of the church on the other side,
Bro.
this church was not carved downward into the earth. It was carved horizontally into a sheer cliff face, roughly 2,500 meters above sea level, accessible only stone, and no safety equipment of any kind. The final approach involves crossing a narrow rock ledge above a drop of several hundred meters. Every Sunday, their backs. Children who have been making this climb since before they were old enough to understand what a church was. They do it barefoot, because you remove your shoes before entering a sacred space, and the sacred space begins at the base of the cliff. When asked about the danger, the priests of Abuna Yamada Gu give an answer that has been consistent for centuries. If your faith is strong, God holds you to the rock. If you fall, it is because you doubted.
My God. This is insanity. This is insanity. This is insanity. This is insanity, bro. How many deaths of
knowledge of the Sirius star system, including the existence of Sirius B, a white dwarf companion star invisible to the naked eye and not confirmed by Western astronomy until 1862. But the daily genius of the Dogon is found not in the stars. It is found in their architecture and in a single, brilliantly designed building at the center of every village. It is called the Togu Na, which translates as the House of Words. The Togu Na is an open-sided shelter where the men of the village gather to discuss community affairs, resolve disputes, and make collective decisions. It is the parliament, the courthouse, and the Togu Na is built from 8 layers of millet stalks, stacked thick and low. So low that it is physically impossible to stand upright inside. An adult man must remain seated at all times. If a dispute becomes heated, if voices are raised, he is forced back into his seat. The architecture itself enforces calm. The Dogon built conflict resolution into the ceiling height of their meeting house. Their granaries carry an equally sophisticated social logic. Men and women maintain, but the woman's granary is hers alone. It holds her personal goods, her jewelry, her trade items, her savings. A husband is not permitted to look inside his wife's granary without her explicit permission. In a society with no banks, no legal contracts, and no formal financial institutions, the woman's granary is her economic independence, protected by social law that everyone respects.
This guy is like, y'all are just gonna have to bear with me for a couple of minutes, y'all.
And finally, we arrive at the end of the world. Literally. Tristan da Cunha is a British overseas territory located in the South Atlantic Ocean, most remote permanently inhabited archipelago on Earth. The nearest land with a significant population is St. Helena, the island where Napoleon was exiled. And that is still 2,000. There is no way to fly in or out.
You come here by boat.
The only way to reach the island is by ship, and the journey from Cape Town takes 6 days in each direction, through some of the roughest seas on the planet. Supply ships come only a handful of times per year. If you have a medical emergency, called Edinburgh of the 7 Seas. Because the entire current population descends from just 15 original settlers, the genetic pool of Tristan da Cunha is extraordinarily narrow. Almost everyone on the island shares one of only 7 family names. Glass, Green, Hagen, Lavarello, Repetto, Rogers, or Swain. When you meet someone on Tristan da Cunha, you are almost certainly meeting a cousin. No one on the island owns land. Not a single square meter. All land is communally held by the islanders as a collective. You cannot purchase property on Tristan da Cunha, regardless of how much money you have. A billionaire and a fisherman stand on exactly equal footing when it comes to the ground beneath their feet.
That's dope.
And several miles from the village, and when planting or harvest time arrives, the whole island shuts down. Every able-bodied person climbs onto tractors and rides out together to work the fields. There are no exceptions based on wealth or status. The potatoes feed everyone, so everyone plants them. In the most isolated community on Earth, the answer to survival was not competition. It was the complete elimination of it. So here we are, 10 places, 10 communities, 10 entirely different answers to the same fundamental question that every human being who has ever lived has had to answer in some form. How do you survive in a world that was not built for you? The Korowai.
Ish, bruh. Hey, without y'all seeing me, you got better. We are bird. Midnights, bro. It's not midnight though. Bro, always got the worst cover art. Yeah. But this one is not that bad, don't lie, it's not that bad. It's not that bad. Oh my god. Hey boo.
This Be Amazed flight. As we take to the skies today, I'll be letting you in on a few little-known, mind-blowing facts about all things aeronautical. From the truth behind bad airline food to how picking the safest seat might save your life, here are some of the prepare for boarding. Boarding is one of the most stressful parts of airplane travel. We've all been there. You've been through
Country of extremely what?
That is consistently ranked as the happy calm, and there is no hustle and bustle. The country's agenda is not busy with significant events every day. Daily life is peaceful and simple, with everyone busy with their own business, and there is no chaos. This dreamlike country is located in Northern Europe, and it's called Finland. It has a population of 5.5 million, and is known as the land of 1,000 lakes due to
the South African cocaine kings. What? Flip? What you mean? Who are these people, boy? Video contains graphic content. Of course I want the graphic content, bro. Why the fuck you think I even touched this shit?
On the 22nd of July,
Shout out,
2021, the Hawks received in food, which was destined for a depot in Isipingo, a town situated 19 kilometers south of Durban. The tip-off had come from a trusted informant, a man who'd spent years working as a dock worker. He claimed that a container carrying animal feed service formed a covert task team, which included the Hawks, the Durban Harbour Police, and border security. When the convoy arrived into Isipingo, the air smelled of diesel and sea salt. Officers formed a perimeter around the shipping yard, while others forced open the container doors. Inside, rows of brown feed bags, stacked perfectly to the ceiling. But beneath the second layer, something caught an officer's eye. A canvas bag branded Jaguar. Another read TikTok. When they cut the first one open, kilograms of it. Street value, over 200 million rand. For a brief moment, celebration filled the air. The Hawks had landed one of the biggest drug busts in South African history. Under tight guard, the cocaine was loaded in a small, sleepy town that suddenly became the custodian of a fortune in white powder. What no one knew then was that this victory would soon turn into the Hawks' darkest scandal.
Well, 541 kilograms of cocaine worth 200 million rand was stolen from the Hawks' serious organized crime offices in Port Shepstone between Friday and yesterday with the safe that was used to store exhibits. An inquiry is currently being conducted into the circumstances of the theft. Hawk spokesperson Brigadier Nomtando Mbambo joins us now for more. Brigadier, a huge stash of cocaine there. Is that the most secure storage facility that was available to the officers in charge?
That shit was planned, boy.
Good morning, Annika, and thank you for having me.
God damn, bro, it's always the English.
Yes, the storage where the consignment was placed is indeed the safest one. It is just unfortunate that we had to experience this break-in that when you're conducting our preliminary investigation, it actually shows
I
that.
don't want to hear this, man. I don't want to hear excuses. Y'all failed, bruh. Like, y'all failed. Like, including put in places you're not allowed to visit. Who called me? Oh, and I played this my money song, but I'm still streaming. I'll play the song after stream. Land of sex tourism. What?
A small but mysterious and fascinating country, known worldwide for its emotional and unique travel experiences. Or is it the story of young girls here who are very fond of older foreign men? A country where daily...
Suga. I knew though that it wasn't something. I knew that it. She lost 2020. It dies every night. What?
You crack out of your egg and your heart is already running at 1,200 beats a minute. Not because something scared you, not because something is wrong, because that is simply the price of being what you are. You are the size of a bumblebee. You weigh less than a paperclip. You are completely blind. And the egg beside you in this nest, the one that was there when you started cracking through your shell, isn't going to hatch. It was never going to hatch. You don't know that. You don't know anything yet. You open your mouth. Your mother built this nest from spider silk because it is the only material on Earth that stretches as you grow. She planned that before you existed. She is already gone, have no idea what you are.
What do you mean dies every night?
Skip forward. You are a few weeks old and you have discovered the only thing that matters. You are always hungry. Not sometimes. Not when food is scarce. Always. Every 15 minutes of every hour you are awake, your body needs fuel. Go long enough without it, and your body starts consuming itself, burning muscle, burning organ. Go a little longer than that, and the whole thing stops. You do not understand any of this. You only know the feeling, and the feeling never goes away. Skip forward. Your mother teaches you by doing. She hovers at a flower, pulls back, hovers again. She is not explaining, she does not have time, and neither do you. You try. Your bill misses completely, and you smack face first into the side of the flower. You try again. Again. On the fourth attempt, you get it. The nectar hits your tongue, and for a fraction of a second, the feeling goes away. Then it comes back, go find another flower. When you finally fly, really fly, it is astonishing. Not flapping, rotating. Your shoulders move in a way no other birds can. You hover. You reverse. You hold perfectly still in open air and the world does not move underneath you. You are the smallest thing in this canopy, and for one moment it feels like the canopy was built for something exactly your size. Then the sun moves. Behind a cloud. The temperature drops 2 degrees. The feeling comes back. Go find a flower. The light goes. And your body does something that if someone found you doing it, they would think you were dead. Your temperature drops 50 degrees. Your heart goes from 1,200 beats a minute to fewer than 50. You stop reacting to sound. You stop reacting to touch. You are not asleep. You are something closer to off. This is the only way you make it through the night. Your body burns almost nothing in this state, just enough to keep the cells from dying. Not because you chose this, not because you learned it, because anything that couldn't do this is already gone. You are descended from every hummingbird that made it through the night before you. That is the only reason you exist. You cannot wake up. You cannot run. You cannot do anything except hold the branch with locked toes while the night passes over you. The owl doesn't find you tonight. Tomorrow night you'll do this again. Every night. For the rest of your life. Waking takes almost an hour. You shiver through all of it. Muscles firing and releasing, heating you from the inside because the sun is not fast enough. Your stomach is completely empty. The shivering is burning what little you have left. The second your wings are warm enough, you go. You don't stretch. You don't look around. You go straight to the nearest flower because there is nothing else. This is the first thing you do every morning. About hummingbirds. You are furious. Not defensive, not cautious, furious, in a way that makes no sense for something your size. Last week, you spent 40 minutes chasing a red-tailed hawk out of your airspace. It weighed 400 times more than you. It left. You claimed 3 flowers. Just 3. That is your whole world right now. 3 flowers, a line of nectar, and the absolute conviction that nothing else is allowed near them. The fight that gets you there leaves your opponent with a bill tip broken, clean off against something hard. That detail tells you how many times he has fought before. Something is on the branch beside your largest flower. You have flown past it 14 times today. It has not moved once. You've worked these flowers for 3 days, you know this spot, you trust this spot, you come in from the left the way you always do, bill extended, already thinking about the next flower, you don't. See it. You don't have time to see it. One moment you are flying toward the flower, the next moment something has you. You beat your wings. Hard. Harder. The wings that can fly backwards, that moved fast enough to leave a hawk standing still in the air. They beat and nothing changes. The mantis weighs almost exactly what you do. It has been here since before you started this morning. It has been doing nothing for long. Nobody finds them. Nobody notices. The colony keeps working the flowers. You have to be one of the ones that escapes. You sit on a branch across the garden. Still, your chest is moving faster than it should be. The mantis is still on the stem. It has already reset. It is going to be there tomorrow. Your flowers are on the other side of it. Here is what you are, when everything is working. You schedule more precise than most things with a brain 10 times the size of yours. You hold a fixed position in open air with sub-centimeter drift. Researchers who've measured this cannot fully explain how. When something comes for you, you are somewhere else before it decides to move. You are the most precisely engineered living thing at this scale. Everything about you works. And none of it is enough to change what is coming, because you were built to do this for 3 years, maybe 5, if nothing goes wrong. And the thing that is going to end you isn't a predator, isn't the cold, isn't the hunger. It's August. Skip forward. Something changes in August. You start eating like something that knows it has to. Every flower, every insect, all day, past the point where it makes sense. Fat builds along your back and belly and throat, until you have nearly doubled in weight. Your body is storing everything it can find. You don't know why. You just can't. Stop. You reach the coast, and there is nothing ahead of you but ocean. You have never seen the ocean before. You don't know what it is. You don't know what 500 miles means. Something in you simply lifts off. 500 miles, no flowers, no insects, no land. If you go down, you drown. There is nothing between you and the water cannot hold you. You fly through the night, burning through everything your body built over the last 2 weeks. You are dropping weight with every wing beat. If the wind turns, you won't make it. If a storm builds behind you, you won't make it. You don't know any of this. You are just flying, because something in you says to fly. Every year, some don't make it. They are not weaker. They are not worse. The wind just went the wrong way. Rig workers find them every year. Tiny birds on the railings, hundreds of miles from land, completely spent, unable to lift off. The workers leave sugar water and step back. Sometimes the bird drinks. Sometimes it lifts off again and continues. Sometimes it doesn't. The workers who've seen this say they remember every one. You make it across, you find land, and before you do anything else, before you rest, before you look around, you find a flower. You are one of 340. Every single species of hummingbird lives only in the Americas. None anywhere else. As if this one corner of the planet decided to run this particular experiment and kept going. The smallest is the bee hummingbird, 2¼ inches long, weighs less than a dime. Its heart runs at the same rate as yours. It goes through the same nights, the same hunger, the same crossing, just smaller. The rufous hummingbird travels 3,000 miles each year, the longest migration relative to body size of any bird on Earth.
Why?
It does this alone. It has no one to follow. It just goes. You run this for 3 years, maybe 5. Some make it to 9. The oldest ruby-throated hummingbird ever found was 9 years golf 18 times. 18 times she stood at the edge of that coast and felt something in her body say go. 18 times she went. 18 nights of open water with nothing below. 18 mornings waking up shivering and going straight to the nearest flower. She didn't know she was extraordinary. She didn't know she'd made it 18 times. She just knew it was August. And something in her said, go. So she went. There is one more animal that makes a crossing like this. It has no wings. It has no way back. And it doesn't get to do it 18 times. Next video.
Bro, that's crazy though. Some of these birds though are just insane, bro. I'm not gonna lie, bro. Hold up. Let me try and get some visual presentation in this bitch. Well, this one is not charged up, so I need to come with a different plan. Need to come with a different plan, boy. But how this is, it's not gonna connect though. Let me try. Cause this shit needs like. Let me see.
It's about fists.
Imagine being able to build anything just by thinking about it. Meet Base 44, a complete AI creation platform.
At first, Tekken was about fists, and then it added lasers, then demons, then biological nightmares, and now here we are. This is the strange side of Tekken, and in this video we're going to talk about all the weird monsters in this series. Mokujin. Carved from a 2,000-year-old oak tree, Museum as a historical relic. That changes whenever a supernatural threat emerges powerful enough to destabilize this world. Each time Tekken's larger mythological forces awaken, Mokujin awakens as well. Unlike other fighters, Mokujin has no fighting style of its own. Instead, it mimics the techniques, stances.
Nah, I've watched this video. Terrible. Man can I wanna jam the new smart music. Ah, fuck, boy. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Alright, boys, let me see.
Well, there's a lot of stuff in his OBS, bro. I'm gonna move to like I started like working on the things for OBS.
Which country you guys gonna speak to? Like, what type of people you wanna speak to? Asian country.
Level 1, the Blue Lantern. You're 16. You dropped out of school in Sham Shui Po, one of the most crowded neighborhoods in Hong Kong. Your dad drives a minibus 14 hours a day. Your mom, everyone calls him Dai Lo, Big Brother. He buys you dinner, gives you a phone, asks small favors. Watch this corner. Tell me if anyone from Woan Lok shows up. Stand outside this mahjong parlor and let me know if police come. You're not a member. You're what they call a blue lantern, uninitiated. You don't even have a number. See, in the triads, every rank has a number, and every number has meaning. They're rooted in Chinese numerology, combinations that multiply back to sacred digits. 49 is a soldier. 4 times 9 is 36, the number of oaths you swear when you join. 426 is the red pole, the enforcer. 4 plus 2 plus 6 equals 12. Multiply the digits. 1 times 2, you get 2, the deputy. 489 is the dragon head, the boss. 4 plus 8 plus 9 is 21. 2 times 1 is 2 again, but 489 also multiplies to 288, which connects to ancient triad founding mythology. These aren't random. They've been coded into the organization for over 300 years. You? You're nothing. You're zero. But you're learning. Dai Lo wears a gold chain and drives a Mercedes. Nobody bows to your father. One night, you're told to keep watch outside a karaoke bar in Mongkok while something happens inside. You hear glass breaking, shouting. A man stumbles out with blood on his shirt. Nobody calls the police. The police don't come to this block unless they're invited. You get 2,000 Hong Kong dollars a week, cash in an envelope. That's more than your dad makes driving that minibus. You buy new sneakers, buy dinner for your younger brother. You tell your mom you got a job at a restaurant. She's so proud she cooks your favorite meal. She doesn't ask questions. She doesn't want to. One afternoon, you fall asleep on your shift. Dai Lo finds you. He doesn't yell. He puts his hand on your shoulder and says, very quietly, if the wrong people had come while you were sleeping, we wouldn't be having this conversation.
Bro, where's the... Let me see, bro. Alright, I'm back, but I don't know how long I'll be here, bro. Because my phone is on 0%, so at any given moment, this shit's gonna switch off. Like, at any given moment, this shit's gonna switch off, bro.
He doesn't yell. He puts his hand on your shoulder and says, very quietly, if the wrong people had come while you were sleeping, we wouldn't be having this conversation. Now they want you inside. The initiation isn't a handshake. It's a ceremony that hasn't changed in 300 years. You're brought to a back room, maybe a warehouse, maybe a shed in the New Territories. There's an altar dedicated to Guan Yu, the god of loyalty. Incense is burning. There's a rooster. You walk under an arch of crossed swords. You wear white robes and straw sandals. The incense master recites ancient poems about the 5 ancestors, monks who survived a massacre and founded the first secret society. Then you swear 36 oaths. Every one ends with a punishment. If I betray my brothers, I will die by 5 thunderbolts. If they cut the rooster's head off, its blood drips into a bowl of wine and cinnabar. You prick your finger, add your own blood, you drink. You're a 49 now, a soldier. Your Dai Lo is your sworn brother. His enemies are your enemies. His debts are your debts. Your first real job? You show up with 2 other 49s. Most people pay. The ones who don't, you don't use guns. Guns are rare in Hong Kong. The weapon of choice is the meat cleaver. The bullet never could. 1 slash across the back. Not deep enough to kill. Deep enough that he never forgets. You make 8,000 Hong Kong dollars a month, plus bonuses from collections. You buy your first real watch. Not a Rolex, not yet, but it's real. You wire money home. Your mom thinks the restaurant promoted you. In a way, it did. But the oaths don't leave your head, especially the last one. If I am arrested, I will accept my punishment and not implicate my brothers. You recite it to yourself on the MTR like a prayer, because you know that one day, it won't be hypothetical. Level 3, the street boss. Your lit blocks where massage parlors, karaoke bars, and nightclubs run 24 hours a day. Every business on those blocks pays a monthly protection fee. They call it T-money. A noodle shop pays 3,000 Hong Kong dollars. A nightclub pays 30,000 Hong Kong dollars. Is older than anyone alive. You also run the gambling, illegal mahjong parlors and back rooms. You control 3 minibus routes, the red ones that run at night. Drivers pay you 10,000 Hong Kong dollars a month each, just for the right to operate. In return, you teach them the rules. Never use phones for business. Never talk to outsiders. And if you get arrested, say nothing. Lawyers appear. Bail gets posted. The system works, as long as you keep your mouth shut. 80,000 Hong Kong are in the import-export business. Every triad member says they're in import-export. It's the oldest joke in Hong Kong. But you're exposed. A rival 14K crew wants your blocks. One night, two guys on a motorcycle roll up behind one of your collectors. They slash him across the back with a cleaver and disappear into traffic. He survives. Barely. You respond. Quietly. A 14K associate gets followed home from a nightclub in Tsim Sha Tsui. Two of your guys are waiting on a motorcycle. The chopper comes out. 3 slashes, arms and back. Not the face. The face means you want war. The arms mean you want respect. He wakes up in the hospital. No one files a police report. No one ever does. You get home that night. Your girlfriend's asleep. You pour a whiskey and sit in the dark. You realize you didn't feel anything when they told you it was done. Level 4, the red pole. 426. You're 26. You've been promoted to 426. Red pole, the enforcer, the military commander. You manage all security for your branch. Territory disputes? You plan the response. Business owner refuses to pay? You authorize the consequences. Someone inside the organization is suspected of being a 25. That's the code for an informant. You handle the investigation. And if the investigation confirms it, you handle the result. You're also moving product now. Ketamine, the drug of choice in Hong Kong's club scene. Comes from mainland China or Southeast Asia. You don't touch it yourself, but you manage the pipeline. From a warehouse in the New Territories to dealers in the Tsim Sha Tsui nightclubs. White powder packed in tea boxes, in restaurant deliveries, a flat in Kowloon Tong, a lawyer on retainer, 50,000 Hong Kong dollars a month, whether you need him or not. The real problem is the people below you. Young 49s who get high on their own ketamine, who post photos on social media with gold and send them back to zero. One of your soldiers starts spending beyond his means. New car, new apartment, no explanation. You have someone check his phone records. He's been calling a number linked to the OCTB, the Organized Crime and Triad Bureau, Hong Kong's dedicated anti-triad police unit. You bring him to a warehouse. You don't ask questions. And above you, the bosses want more. Always more. They don't care about your problems. They care about the envelope. Level 5, the white paper fan, 415. You're 30. You put away the cleaver, you pick up a calculator. Job? Turning dirty cash clean. At a scale that makes street-level money look like pocket change. You open businesses. Bubble tea shops, a construction company, a car wash, a real estate firm. All legitimate on paper. All running cash through registers that was never earned selling tea or washing cars. You buy entire floors of apartment buildings in the New Territories, suitcases of cash, then sell them through proper channels. Clean. You set up shell companies in Hong Kong, Macau through casinos in Macau. Walk in with dirty cash, buy chips, play a few hands, cash out with a check. Easy. You also handle politics. The Triad has always had relationships with power. In 1997, the Chinese government's own representatives met with Triad leaders to ensure stability during the Hong Kong handover. That relationship didn't end. It evolved. You attend dinners with low-level officials, donate to the right causes, make introductions. Nothing is said directly. Everything is understood. In 2012, a Triad dragonhead was photographed at a dinner with aides to a candidate running for chief executive of 500,000 Hong Kong dollars a month. Property in 3 cities. Your kids go to international school. You attend charity galas. Nobody at the golf club knows what you really are. But the people above the law are the most dangerous of all. A politician who takes your money this year might sacrifice you next year. You're useful, exactly as long as you're invisible. Level 6, the Dragonhead. You're the Dragonhead, the boss. Your operation generates hundreds of millions a year. Sells in Hong Kong, Macau, mainland China, Southeast Asia, Australia, Canada, and Europe. Thousands of members, politicians, judges, and police commanders who take your calls. But you're a ghost. The most powerful triad leaders in history are men nobody has ever heard of. They don't give interviews, modestly. This is the fundamental difference between the triads and the cartels. The triads worship secrecy. A dragonhead who draws attention gets replaced. You negotiate with other dragonheads, divide territory, form alliances. When the super syndicate Sam enemies united to manufacture methamphetamine on an industrial scale in the jungles of Myanmar, they earned an estimated $8 to $17 billion a year, controlled up to 70% of the meth supply in the entire Asia Pacific. You have everything. Properties across countries, bank accounts you'll never touch, cars you'll never drive, and years ago don't match your face anymore. Your own children don't fully understand what you do. You haven't used your real name in 5 years. You change phones every week. You meet your deputy in a private room at a seafood restaurant in Aberdeen, and even there, you check for recording devices before you sit down. You trust him, mostly. You trusted the last deputy too, before you found out he was skimming. Interpol has a red notice. The Australian Federal Police, the DEA, agencies across Asia, they're all building a case. You know this because you pay people inside those agencies. But information for school, you don't have an answer. Level 7, the fall. They got you. Maybe it was a raid, maybe a wiretap, maybe it was one of your own, a 25, an informant who decided that witness protection was better than looking over his shoulder forever. Che Chi Lop ran the big avenue, labs hidden in the jungles of Myanmar, distribution across the entire Pacific. For years, the public didn't even know his name. He dressed modestly. He was calm, strategic, invisible. When the FBI first arrested him, back in 1998, the agent who interrogated him said he didn't act like a drug lord, didn't boast, didn't panic, just sat there and said nothing useful. He served 9 years, got out, built something bigger. Sam Gore, the Asia with cheap product. $8 to $17 billion a year. Up to 70% of the meth supply across the entire Asia Pacific. Then, in January 2021, Dutch police arrested him at Amsterdam's Schiphol airport during alleged drugs. He faces life in prison. The cell is quiet. The empire is gone. The money is frozen. The brothers you swore oaths with, Blood, Wine, and Cinnabar, they've already chosen your replacement. You had a kingdom. Now you have a concrete room, and the rest of your life to think about how you got here. Level 8, the successor. But the triad doesn't die with you. It's been running for 300 years, longer. It survived the fall of the Qing dynasty, survived Mao's purges, survived the British handover, survived every crackdown. Or someone you've never heard of, who's been waiting for exactly this moment. The drugs keep flowing out of Myanmar. The money keeps washing through the casinos in Macau. The tea money keeps arriving at the noodle shops in Mongkok. The oaths keep being sworn. Watching the street, holding a phone that isn't his. A man in a gold chain just bought him dinner. He's waiting. He doesn't know it yet, but he's already inside.
Black Rock, what's that?
This is the triad. Not a gang, a society.
BlackRock, there's a good chance they manage a piece of your money right now. Your pension, your 401k, your retirement. You didn't choose them. You didn't sign a contract. You were enrolled. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly where to look. The CEO called the government. It called him. There are 8 levels between your first day at BlackRock and the room where the world's money is controlled. This is what each one shows you. Level 1, the analyst. You're 22 years old, BlackRock, New York City. Base salary, $75,000. You expected to feel powerful. You don't. You feel like you've been dropped into a system that's been running perfectly without you for 35 years. Your first week, they give you access to something called Aladdin. Asset, liability, debt, and derivative investment network. You open it, and the interface loads like the cockpit of something you're not licensed to fly. Every portfolio, every trade, every risk calculation across the entire firm runs through this one system. You don't touch anything. The client is a pension fund. That pension fund manages the retirement savings of 400,000 public school teachers. You're 22 years old, and the accuracy of your spreadsheet determines whether those teachers retire at 62 or 67. Nobody phrases recruiting videos promised. After 6 months, you stop being impressed by the building and start being impressed by the machine. Aladdin processes thousands of risk scenarios before the market opens every morning. It knows things before the news does. You start to understand, the associate. You learn what Aladdin actually does. Your salary is $160,000, but the number that matters is $25 trillion. Aladdin doesn't just manage BlackRock's money, it manages risk analytics for outside clients, banks, insurance companies, sovereign wealth funds, central banks. The Bank of Israel uses Aladdin. The biggest pension funds in Europe use Aladdin. $25 trillion in assets run through this one platform. Most of that money doesn't belong to BlackRock. Sit with that institution that plugs into Aladdin gives BlackRock something more valuable than fees, visibility, into what the world's largest investors are doing, in real time, before anyone else can see it. You don't fully understand the implications yet, but someone 7 levels above you does. And what they built with that visibility is the reason no government on earth can replace this company. Level 3, the vice president. You're 28. Compensation clears $250,000. You manage a piece of a portfolio. A $200 million position is a rounding error on the fund you support. You fly to meet a client for the first time. A state pension fund in the Midwest. The people across the table manage retirement money for firefighters, nurses, and highway patrol officers. They want to know why their emerging markets allocation underperformed by 40 basis points. You explain it calmly. You've got Aladdin's risk models behind you, like a wall of evidence they can't build themselves. They nod. They renew. They never had a choice. On the flight home, you realize something. That pension fund could run their money and means rebuilding their entire risk framework from scratch. Nobody does that. You close your laptop. You look out the window. You're 28 years old, and you just locked a pension fund into a system they may never leave. The firefighters and the nurses will never know your name, but their retirement depends on the spreadsheet you built last Tuesday. You aren't selling performance, you're selling dependency. And you're getting very good at it. Level 4. Get 400. 4. The director. You're 33. Total comp, $400,000. Your calendar has a meeting with a sovereign wealth fund. Not a pension fund, a government. They're asking you how to allocate their national reserves. You are 33 years old, as a force. Every year he writes a letter. Not to BlackRock shareholders, to the CEOs of the world's largest companies. And they read it. Not because they want to, because BlackRock is their largest shareholder. And when your largest shareholder speaks, you listen. Or you explain to your board why you didn't. His letter in 2020 told CEOs to take climate change seriously. Companies pivoted over one letter, once a year, and the global economy adjusts. But you haven't seen the level where BlackRock stops advising governments and starts replacing them. Level 5, the managing director. In 2008, the financial system was collapsing. The Federal Reserve needed someone to sort through the toxic mortgage securities that were destroying the economy. It didn't call Goldman Sachs. It didn't call JP Morgan. It called BlackRock. It called you. The Goldman analysts were still fixing fonts at 2 a.m. BlackRock was given no-bid contracts to manage 3 emergency vehicles for the New York Fed. Portfolios of toxic assets from Bear Stearns, from AIG, from Citigroup. Then 2020 happened. The pandemic shut down the global economy. The Fed needed someone to buy corporate bonds to stop the bleeding. It called BlackRock again. This time, BlackRock was hired to purchase bonds on the Fed's behalf, including BlackRock's own funds. The advisor, the asset manager, and the product being purchased were the same company. 3 sides of the same trade. The contract was 26 pages. It was made public. You can read it yourself. It was signed in a week. Nobody went to prison. Nobody was charged. America read about it and moved on. This is the level where you stop thinking of BlackRock as a company. You start thinking of it as infrastructure. Governments don't regulate infrastructure. They depend on it. Level 6, the Senior Managing Director. There are fewer than 200 of you, out of 20,000 employees. Compensation ranges from $3 million. You help decide where Aladdin expands next. Which countries, which institutions, which asset classes. $25 trillion runs through the platform today. By the time you retire, it could be $40 trillion. Here's what nobody outside this room understands. BlackRock's power isn't in the money it manages. It's in the data Aladdin collects from the money everyone else manages. Every institution plugged into the platform gives BlackRock a window into their positions, their risk exposure, their strategy. BlackRock sees the entire chessboard from above. Everyone else sees their own pieces. 12 US states have pulled money from BlackRock. Whether you agree with their reasons or not, the result was the same. BlackRock's total assets went up the same year. The boycotts represent a rounding error on a balance sheet that measures in trillions. The people protesting BlackRock's power are confirming it by treating the firm like a government that can be pressured, rather than a company that can be replaced. Nobody replaces BlackRock. There is nothing to replace it with. Every empire has levels. Most empires run on force, or money, or secrecy. This one runs on something harder to... And at this level, the story stops being about you. Because at this level, you don't matter anymore. He started on a bond trading desk. He was good. Very good. Until 1986, when a single bet on interest rates cost his firm $90 million. Or the most dangerous is a question nobody's answered yet. He spent the next 2 years building a system that would never let it happen again. In 1988, he launched BlackRock. 7 people, 1 room, 1 computer, between a refrigerator and a coffee machine. That computer ran the first version of Aladdin. He's been shortlisted for Treasury Secretary under 2 different administrations, from 2 different parties. He built what one journalist called a shadow government of former agency officials and policy advisors inside BlackRock. His phone calls reach every central bank on Earth. His company's voting power influences the boards of nearly every major public company in the world. He has never held public office. Level 8, the machine. BlackRock doesn't need you to understand it. It needs you to depend on it. And you probably already do. If you opened your retirement account right now, you'd probably find an iShares ETF inside it. You didn't put it there. Your employer did, or your advisor did, or the platform did. The choice was made for you, the way most choices about your money are made. By someone you've never met, using a system you've never heard of, running on a computer you'll never see. You are inside BlackRock's portfolio. You just never signed up. Most people will never know this. You do now. That computer sits in a data center in Wenatchee, Washington. 6,000 machines that started as 1 workstation in 1988. After you go to sleep tonight, they don't answer to a president. They don't answer to a board. They answer to the math. And the math doesn't stop. Next file, the levels of the Sinaloa cartel. The most powerful drug trafficking organization in the Western, but won't be able to ignore much longer.
So you can drive the future. At UL Solutions, we help you prove it.
Bro, like, you literally have people who are working 98 hours a week, dog, and I'm out here barely scratching 3 hours, 4 hours of streaming, gang. Ah, dog. Come on, what are we doing, bro? Like, what the fuck are we doing?
Goldman Sachs has a rule. No work expected between Friday night and Sunday morning. The rule exists because young bankers kept dying. Last year, 1.1 million people applied to work there anyway. Fewer than 1 in 100 got in. A first-year analyst earns $110,000, which after taxes and 98-hour weeks, works out to less per hour than the McDonald's across the street. The partner who signs his bonus earns $4.8 million. There are 8 levels between them. This is what each one looks like, and what each one costs. Level 1, the intern. You're 20 years old, junior year, Goldman Sachs. Something yet. 200 West Street, 43 floors of glass and money. Your badge doesn't work on the first morning. You stand at the turnstile while people in better suits flow around you. Nobody helps. Nobody looks. You are furniture that hasn't been assembled yet. There are 80 summer analysts. Same GPA, same schools, same resumes. Here you start at 0. Your job is to build models in Excel and not make mistakes. You work from 9 a.m. to whenever the associate tells you to leave. The associate never tells you to leave before midnight. You make $17,000 for the summer. After tax, $11 an hour. But you're not here for the money. You're here for the return offer. At the end of week 10, they call you into a conference room. 2 minutes, a handshake, a return offer. You go to the bathroom and call your mother. She cries.